to get at that cog before I release the clips and pull it up a bit. You need to just loosen that Torx really, so that you have a bit of movement on this part of the regulator, so that you can lift that up. To get this part off where the two cables go in and the blue cog is behind there, you need a screwdriver to just push back these two lugs. So that's those two released, and then just here there's a part where it kind of hooks under, so I'm gonna pull it up at that angle in order to get it out. So I'm going to try and lubricate the blue gear that pulls the two cables, and I'm going to make sure I don't take this out because it will probably be impossible to get back in. So there's one cable there and the other one is down here, which is kind of hard to see. I'll do some more of that off camera, and then I'm going to use some white grease in a can to try and to squirt some behind here, because it does have grease in it, but you can't take that out because I don't think you'll get it back in. Okay, so I'm not going to squirt white grease down those cables because I think that would probably make them more sticky and not run freely. To try and solve the squeaky problem, I had lubricated the rails and the blocks where this slides up and down on both sides, and it didn't help. I also squirted WD-40 type spray down the cables each end, and it still didn't help. I also released the motor and lubricated the blue plastic gear with spray grease, and it still didn't help. And the final thing I did was I took my brush with grease and I lubricated this part of the cable where it actually rubs against this black framework here. So at the moment that's touching, and it does it on both sides, and that was the thing that solved the squeaking. So I've lubricated where that cable slides against this black part here. I also lubricated the four wheels in where the cable sits, and I'll just operate it now. And it's completely silent and normal. Now when the block is in this position, the cable is not touching the black piece. So it might be that when you take your door card off, it looks like this and it's not touching, but actually if you move that to one end or the other, the cable does interact and touch with this piece here. And I think that is what makes the sliding noise, because as soon as I lubricated that and the cable using just grease, I've used rubber grease, it has fixed the problem entirely, and obviously that will save me spending £200 or £300 on a new regulator assembly, which is not required.